ఈరోజు కేరళ వామపక్ష ప్రభుత్వ మంత్రి గారు ఎంబి రాజేష్ గారు నిన్న మాకినేని బసవప్పన్నయ్య మెమోరియల్ లెక్చర్ కోసం విజయవాడ వచ్చారు. వారు ఈరోజు మన పార్టీ తరఫున ప్రెస్ కాన్ఫరెన్స్లో పాల్గొంటున్నారు. వారు మిమ్మల్ని ఉద్దేశించి మాట్లాడతారు. ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ కమిటీ ఎంబి రాజేష్ టు అడ్రస్ ద మీట్.
Yes, friends, I came here to Vijayawada to attend, to deliver Comrade M. Basavapannaya Memorial Lecture of this year. And the topic of the lecture was Centre's attack on states' rights. This has always been a topic of intense debate throughout the history of independent India. But since 2014, with the Modi-led BJP government at the center, this issue has become all the more important. Narendra Modi-led BJP government has unleashed an attack against federal structure of our country and against the rights of state governments. Yesterday I spoke about this in detail, so I don't want to go into detail here. In three spheres, this attack is evident: political, legislative and administrative, and fiscal. On these three spheres, the union government at the center is taking away states' rights. There are a number of examples. Politically, the BJP government at the center is weaponizing the office of governor to destabilize democratically elected governments. I can give you number of examples. This has happened in Tamil Nadu, recently in Kerala, Maharashtra, and before in Karnataka, Goa, Arunachal, and West Bengal. All governments led by non-BJP parties are targeted, and the office of governors are weaponized to target these governments. Legislative rights and authority of state governments are also being taken away. We have seen the way farm laws were passed by the parliament. Agriculture is in the state list. Despite that, Modi government passed 3 farm laws. Finally, they had to withdraw all these farm laws due to historic struggle by farmers. And the recent example is the central government has formed a separate department for cooperative sector. Cooperative sector is in the state list. Despite that, new department has been formed at the center with the Home Minister as the in charge of that department. The intention is very clear. And the most vicious attack is taking place in the fiscal sphere. With the introduction of GST, all the rights of state governments to generate revenue have been taken away. State governments have been made completely dependent on central government for resources. So this has affected state governments' programs and policies. Through this fiscal onslaught, the union government is imposing its policies on state governments, and the union government is preventing state governments from pursuing any alternative policies. But despite that, the LDF government in Kerala, despite all these efforts by union government to squeeze the state government, we are pursuing alternative policies within all these limitations. The highlight of alternative policies pursued in Kerala is that the government is more actively engaged in economic activity. The neoliberal policies pursued by Modi government want governments to withdraw from economic activities and social welfare measures. But the LDF government in Kerala is more enthusiastically involving in economic activities and also social welfare measures. Kerala has achieved economic growth higher than the GDP growth of our country. The growth of Kerala's economy, state domestic product, is higher than the GDP of our country, rate of growth. And according to CMI data, Center for Monitoring Indian Economy data, the latest data they released on employment, Kerala is having less unemployment rate as compared to national rate of unemployment. But still we are seeing that employment is an important concern. We are trying to generate employment in the state. The government now is in the effort to transform Kerala's economy into a knowledge-based economy, because Kerala's advantage is educated youth and human resources. Now we are trying to find gainful employment for this educated youth. In the next 4 years, Kerala is targeting to create 2 million digital jobs. Secondly, in the social welfare front, despite all these financial skews, Kerala is having one of the biggest social welfare schemes in the country. Social welfare pension scheme. 54 lakh people have been covered under social welfare scheme, and monthly pension is 1,600. The biggest cash transfer scheme in the country is Kerala social welfare pensions. Every month 54 lakh persons are receiving rupees 1,600 as social welfare pension. And Kerala has taken an innovative initiative to form KIFBI, Kerala Infrastructure Investment Fund Board, to find resources for infrastructure development. Now, over the last 5 years, rupees 70,000 crores have been invested for infrastructural development. More than 3,000 crores were invested to empower public education and government schools. The result was amazing. Before LDF government came to power, the public education sector in the state was degenerating. But over a period of 5 years, we were able to empower the government schools. People find government schools attractive, and over a period of 5 years, there was 10 lakh more enrollment in government schools. infrastructure facilities were improved. This has never happened in the history of Kerala. That much improvement took place in the last 5 years. And this has resulted in the quality of school education. For the last 6 years, continuously, Kerala remains top in the National School Quality Index of Niti Aayog. Not only that Kerala is on the top, Kerala is far ahead of other states in terms of the score given by Niti Aayog. Now we are focusing on higher education. This is also part of our attempt to transform Kerala's economy into a knowledge-based economy. Now the second LDF government led by Comrade Pinarayi Vijayan is focusing. The first government focused on public education, school education. The second government is focusing on higher education. The highest allocation in the last state budget was given to higher education. This is an alternative. Both when throughout the country, when the union government and various state governments are withdrawing from the support to education, we are investing more on education. That has given wonderful results. Now our universities and colleges will be improved, not only infrastructural improvement, but the academic improvement is also an important objective. Our intention is to create world-class centers of excellence of higher learning in the state. And another important area of emphasis is public health. Kerala could successfully contain COVID-19 pandemic only because of its strong public healthcare system. And the government is further strengthening that public healthcare system. During COVID, treatment was completely free to all patients in government and government hospitals. I can tell you my own experience. I was infected with coronavirus and I was seriously ill, corona and pneumonia, affected by both, and I was in ICU for 10 days in a district government hospital. When hospitals outside the state, in Delhi, in Mumbai and other parts, charge 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs for hospitalization, the treatment was completely free of cost. Now the people have got a trust in the public healthcare system. We have introduced specialty care in all district levels. Cath labs and cardiac surgeries are taking place in district hospitals. Dialysis facilities in every taluk hospitals. And Kerala has received so many national awards for its public healthcare system, especially for primary health centers. A good system, robust system of primary health centers throughout the state. So this focus on public education, higher education, public health is an alternative to the neoliberal prescription of privatizing education and health. We are not privatizing. Of course, there is a private sector, but there is a strong public sector both in the field of education and health. That is why education and health is affordable to the common people of our state. And the LDF government is ensuring that better quality of education and health is available to all in the state. As I said, the social welfare measures are also an alternative to the policies pursued by this government. KIFBI is another alternative. Government is investing in infrastructure. Instead of allowing big corporates to make investments in infrastructure, government is taking the lead. So this has changed Kerala's economy despite COVID and despite the overall recessionary trend in the Indian economy, Kerala, and despite the worst floods hit Kerala in 2018 and 19. Despite all these difficulties, Kerala was able to maintain economic growth. And in addition to this, the union government is accusing us. In this year alone, Kerala will have to lose more than 30,000 crores because of discriminatory policies of Modi government. GST compensation is stopped from 1st July. Our loss on account of stopping of GST compensation will be, it is estimated that it will be rupees 10,000 crores. Revenue deficit grant has been slashed, and the loss on account of slashing revenue deficit grant by the center is 6,717 crores. Further, Kerala's tax share, the devolution, has been reduced from 2.5% to 1.925%. The loss on account of this is 12,800 crores. So, all these three will constitute around 30,000 crore loss. And the union government is not allowing the state government to borrow money to compensate this huge loss. Modi government has slashed borrowing limit of the state government from 4% to 3.5%. On that account, we will lose 4,000 crores in addition. And further, unexpected manner, the central government has included all borrowings by state-owned companies within the borrowing limit of state government. We have formed KIFBI as a company. KIFBI will raise resources from within and outside India, and it will be invested in infrastructure development. Modi government wants to sabotage this. So they have included KIFBI's borrowing and various other public owned companies borrowing within the borrowing limit of state governments. That will cause an additional loss of 4,000 crores. So despite these difficulties, Kerala government has not slashed any development expenditure, any social welfare expenditure. So we are trying to resist this politically, mobilizing people, and we will continue with all these difficulties. We will continue to stick on to the path of alternative policies. Thank you. If you have any questions, I will answer.
Sir, during the last 5 years, how many public sector units are closed in our state? What is your government reaction?
In fact, in the last 5 years, no public sector units have been closed in the state, but instead, many public sector units have been reopened, and some of them are going to be reopened soon. And further, the state government is taking up public sector which was announced by the center to be closed. One example I will tell you, that Punalur paper mill. Punalur paper mill, the central government decided to privatize it, sell it, privatize it. The state government participated in the bid auction, and we are taken over that, and now we are protecting that as a state PSU. A central PSU which was put for sale has been taken over by the state government, participating in the auction, and now we are implementing a 3,000 crore package to revive it. So that's another. Yeah, thank you for that question, because I missed out that aspect of protecting public sector. And another public sector is instrumentation in Palakkad. All other units of Instrumentation Limited have been closed down. It's a central PSU. The state government wrote to the central government, to the Prime Minister, that we are ready to take over that central PSU, and we will run it as a state PSU. In principle, they agreed. Then after negotiations, we agreed almost all of their conditions. Then finally now somehow they want to prevent that. Now the central government has put another condition, that the state government should give them the cost of land, and the land was given free of cost to the central government by the state government in 1970s. We had given the land free of cost for setting up of this factory, and now when we are trying to protect this from privatization, from closing down, their condition, the demand is that you should pay rupees 53 crore, the land cost, which you have given to us free of cost. So this is the approach of the central government.